Moon Sisters Mondays. So empowering the feminine by working with the astrology of the moon and Venus, right? I'll be looking at the phases and signs of the moon this week, along with Venus and the sun, and talk about how to use these energies to move our lives towards our visions, right? That's what astrology is all about for me. So I'm Sheridan Semple. I'm an alchemical astrologer, which is all about transforming our lives through astrology. I'm focused on the astrology of the divine feminine specifically. I empower women to live their best lives through astrology. So working with the phases of the moon is one of the best ways I've found to inspire women to make meaningful changes in their lives that move them forwards on their soul paths, right? Which is what we all are wanting. So let's jump into this week's moon astrology and more. So we start this week of September 16th with the sun still in Virgo until Sunday, when it moves into Libra for the September or Libra Equinox. Venus is still in Libra until Sunday as well, when she enters Scorpio, right? A lot's happening on Sunday. And the moon entered Pisces early this morning. So there's lots of changing archetypal and seasonal energies this week. So what are you feeling first? Before we dive into what does all this mean and all the specifics of the week, and pause the recording if you need to for a moment to just feel yourself and the energy within and around you, or afterwards in the coming days. What are you feeling? What do you notice as these changes are occurring within you and on the earth around you? So the sun in Virgo brings the literal end of the season this week. We are changing from summer to fall in the northern hemisphere and from winter to spring in the southern hemisphere. So again, what do you notice around you and within you? Like, for instance, I notice the days are getting shorter, right? It's getting colder. My body's feeling colder. I want to wear warmer clothes. I want to eat warmer foods. I want to drink hot tea. And I see the yellow leaves turning more like every single day on the hillside across from my house. I'm also noticing the sun is approaching equinox notch on my western horizon line as it sets each night. So this is a great time to find your personal equinox notch on your specific horizon line, eastern or western. So I'm just going to take a second. I'm going to share my screen and show photos so you can see what I mean and what I'm talking about. So here is my western horizon view, right? This is where I watch the sun set from my backyard. And here is that equinox notch due west. So the March and September sun sets here on the equinoxes, right? Here's where the sun moves to for the June solstice. And here is where the sun moves to for the December solstice. So at this equinox, it's a great time to have a look and see, where is the equinox sun rising if you have a good eastern horizon and you wake up early, or where's the sun setting on the western horizon, right? And what kind of markers do you see there so you can notice, ooh, we're moving towards the equinox, even without like the internet or your calendar or anything like that. Okay, so let's keep on trucking. So where does the sun rise or set at this time of the year for you, right? So check out, see if you can find like a marker, something that you can use when the sun is nearing the equinoxes, right? Because it's going to be here again in March for the Aries equinox next year as well. So tracking the sun's movement as it swings from solstice to solstice, this is an excellent way to commune with nature and connect with your ancestral DNA, right? Your ancestors and your inner knowledge and wisdom. It's very grounding to be connected to where the sun is on your horizon line. So the sun is changing from the priestess sign of Virgo into the relationship focused sign of Libra, a serving other sign. through learning about itself, through its personal connections to other people, right? That's what Libra's about. So the sun is moving from grounded earth element of Virgo into intellectual air element of Libra. What does this transition feel like to you, right? Libra teaches us to become more conscious of ourselves through our awareness and understanding of others, right? Virgo is more of a renunciate type of energy. Libra is a much more social type of energy. But most importantly, what does it feel like to you? What do you experience as we're making this transition? Next, Venus, our divine feminine planet, is now moving out of Libra, that same air sign that teaches us about conscious relationships and how to not lose or sacrifice ourselves for relationships, into watery, passion-oriented, deep-feeling Scorpio. So how are you experiencing this transformation within your feminine energies? We are transitioning from the Libra peacemaker into the boat-rocking Scorpio, right? Libra wants harmony and Scorpio wants intensity. Scorpio wants to feel alive. That's what it's the most passionate about, especially in the feeling emotional realm. It wants to dive deep underwater and ride in the currents of the ocean. Is this an energy that lights you up, or is it an energy that feels overly intense to you? It all comes down to what signs are the main teachers in your chart, right? And the houses that are being lit up by Venus in the changing of her signs. And then the moon moves into super watery Pisces today, floating on the waves of our feelings, our dreams, our visions. What dreams do you have for yourself? Today is a great day to take a little time and focus on those visions without any hows baggage to weigh them down. We don't want to get shut down by the hows when we dream and vision. The how can come later. Pisces is also the healer in the watery emotional realm. So feelings could be coming up. Feeling our feelings is a vital part of what moves us towards our visions, right? Allowing ourselves to be the full expression of ourselves, both the challenges we have and the gifts that we possess, is how we move forward with confidence and knowing our self-worth. Venus is opposite Chiron today, which offers even more healing energy, right? Our divine feminine planet is in a dynamic geometric relationship opposition with our wounded healer planet. So what wounds grab your attention that you feel are blocking your feminine empowerment? Obviously, the patriarchy wound is one that we all deal with in various ways. So what stands in the way of you embodying your rightful womanly power? A Pisces moon helps us to simply feel the feels without judgment or a need to fix them. So tomorrow, Tuesday, is the Pisces full moon. So supercharging what I've just been discussing. And on top of that, this full moon is a partial lunar eclipse, opening the eclipse window for 2 weeks. So partial is like, it's not going to be super visible, but it's still a lunar eclipse, meaning the sun and the moon are both meeting at the nodes, okay, or close to the nodes. So this is an important alchemical time. It's a major shadow work opportunity. So we become whole by embracing all of ourselves, right? Shadows and all. It's in the shadow where our most special gifts lie as well. So I suggest using this eclipse portal to lean into one aspect of yourself that you keep hidden or feel shameful of. What is one small step you could take to give that part a little love and bring it into the light, right? So here's like an example from my life. I've had an issue with checking out by watching TV since I was a little girl. It's all part of how I dealt with the trauma in my life. But I have felt ashamed of that and like kept it hidden. I would even try to hide it from like my husband, right? So now, there's nothing wrong with watching TV or with checking out, but it was the shame of it that, right, kept it hidden in the shadows for me, right? So there are two ways I could take steps to shine some light on that shame, right? There's two ways I could work with that, let's say during this eclipse portal. I could let my husband see me watch TV more and see what happens, right? What am I so afraid of? Or I could take a break from TV and see what it's covering up, right? Like there's just different ways of how you would want to go about that. But it's something that's like helps bring a little more light and take that shameful thing out of the shadows so we can like own it and step into our fullness. So this is the kind of stuff I recommend trying during the eclipse window, especially with it being in Pisces, the empathic healer who wants us to feel all our feels to heal ourselves in the world, right? Along with Venus opposite Chiron. And the moon is meeting with Neptune just hours after this exact full moon lunar eclipse, again in Pisces. So it's like, there is a ton of self-healing, self-love, empathic, compassionate energy around this full moon and the whole eclipse portal opening. So let's take advantage of the cosmic support. This is how we move one step closer to the lives, the visions that we hold for ourselves, right? This is how we use astrology to create our lives, right? Rather than just being subjected to it. So on Wednesday, the moon enters Aries, more energy to support us first through notice for yourself, what is this moon moving from Pisces into Aries feel like for you, right? Always, first and foremost, I want to empower you to feel what the energies feel like for you and what they bring up for you and what they offer for you and how you can best work with them. I'm just offering suggestions and like helping us remember and tune into it. So which house is this happening in your natal chart, right? When the moon is moving from Pisces into Aries, that shows what area of your life is activating, right? Do you have a lot of Pisces or Aries on your chart in general? Meaning, are either of those archetypal energies a significant part of your life lessons, like why you're here, your soul growth? Aries is about individuation and stepping into our power. And I love this energy following Pisces during this eclipse window. While we're doing our shadow work, we use the healing to lean into our immense power that we all have. So on Friday, the moon moves into Taurus and we ground into the earth and into our bodies. How does this shadow work make it safer for us to inhabit our bodies? Also, how does owning parts of ourselves we hide and disown promote more life force in our bodies? Because that's the realm of Taurus, right? Being ourselves, finding pleasure and grounding into our physical bodies and into our wholeness, all of our life force energy. Remember, we are souls in a body, but in a body we are nonetheless. On Saturday, the moon meets with Uranus in Taurus. And how does that feel to you? Uranus is unpredictable, so there could be some emotional or physical twists and turns today. Pay attention to any yearnings for change that you feel. This alignment brings that up. You don't have to do anything about it, but let yourself honestly feel what it is, right? What you really want. The hows can come later. It has to be an honest vision first before we can do anything to get there. And finally, to end the week, we have the September Libra Equinox, right? Yay, a seasonal change is occurring. I love this. So the sun enters Libra on Sunday. I showed that before in the picture, right? Where is that? And we transition into fall where I live, and spring in the southern hemisphere. So take a moment to look around again and notice what demonstrates the changing of the seasons where you live. What is happening on the earth around you? What are the animals doing? What are the plants and the trees doing? What are you feeling? Where I am, the squirrels are going crazy right now, gathering spruce cones for their winter nests. I mean, they're like right now, as I'm recording this, they're just running across the deck with like cones in their mouths constantly. So tuning into the earth and sky and the repeatable cycles is very empowering to the feminine. And then, so also on Sunday, the moon enters Gemini and Venus enters Scorpio. So I want to take a second and show you that in Stellarium, the astronomy software, stellarium.org, so we can see that. Oh, there it goes. Okay. So here we are. Here's the moment of the Libra equinox where I am at 9:22 in the morning. Sorry, on September 22nd at 6:43 in the morning. I'm gonna get rid of the time. You can see here's the sun entering Libra in the Priestess constellation, because remember, constellations and Western astrology are not the same thing. Western astrology is based on the seasonal changes and cycles and not on the constellations, but they work together. So here's the sun entering Libra. Here's Venus entering Scorpio at the end of the Priestess constellation, because the Priestess constellation, or what astronomers call Virgo, spans more than 30 degrees in the sky. And then also the moon is moving into Gemini. It's right here aligned with the Pleiades, the seven sisters. So there's a lot of like yummy feminine energy around the starting of this Libra equinox for all of us here. Okay, so last little bits here. So we have a get out of our boxes, Aries Gemini moon guiding us towards more space and freedom, while our divine feminine expression is going down into the watery depths of Scorpio, while the sun moves into Aries Libra. So how will that feel? I think this is a perfect combination of energies as we move through this eclipse portal. Gemini brings out of the box awareness, while Scorpio guides us to be real with ourselves and thrives on that shadow work I spoke of before. And we move into this Libra fall or spring season as well. The eclipse window is filled with powerful energies conspiring to help us move ourselves one step closer to our dreams and visions for ourselves, right? One small step for woman, one giant leap for womankind. So see you next Monday as the moon meets with Jupiter and then moves into Cancer while we continue traversing the eclipse portal. More to come on that then. Thanks for watching. You can comment or ask any questions below, or subscribe to my newsletter to get my weekly Moon Sisters Mondays sent directly to you. All right, have a great week.